All right, this is Justin Horowitz coming to you with this breaking story for Really American Media. Right-wing host and Turning Point USA Chief Executive Officer Charlie Kirk's second annual Pastors Summit was just held in Nashville, Tennessee, and oddly enough was sponsored by a registered sex offender, according to a new report by the Rolling Stone. So Kirk, for those of you who do not know, has been an outspoken critic of Target for selling transgender inclusive youth apparel, going so far as even saying that the corporation, quote, shows support for grooming kids. Now, the Rolling Stone has learned that one of Turning Point USA's corporate sponsors is actually a Christian fashion company that is led by a registered sex offender named Sean Bergstrand, who served time in federal prison for attempted coercion and enticement after trying to persuade a minor female to engage in sexual activity. The CEO of Right Side Up, a quote, Christian lifestyle apparel company, Bergstrand is a registered sex offender in North Dakota after being convicted in 2014 for coercion and enticement of a minor. Now, per the Rolling Stone report, quote, a redacted indictment shows that the CEO was originally charged with attempting to entice and coerce a minor female to engage in prostitution and sexual activity, and that despite facing a maximum of 20 years in jail, he received a sentence of 1 year in prison and 5 years of supervised release. He never even ended up even serving that sentence. Bergstrand, quote, was discharged from supervision more than a year early in 2018. The University of North Georgia professor Matthew Bodie, who revealed the sex offender's connection to Turning Point USA to Rolling Stone, said, quote, I'm all for second chances and paying your debt to society, even perhaps creating a brand based on how you overcame your own terrible decisions. But for Turning Point and Charlie Kirk to highlight this particular person, whose crime involved a child and attempted sexual acts, while decrying, quote, groomers and sending mobs to stores who sell products they don't like, is beyond hypocritical. The professor went on to add, quote, it's even more outrageous that this business was promoted to a group of pastors who likely had no idea of this person's story. I can only hope Kirk practices what he preaches and takes responsibility. Charlie Kirk, in response to Rolling Stone's reporting, said during the summit, quote, first of all, it's not my turning point, it's the Lord's turning point. I am both a Christian and a nationalist, but most importantly, I'm a Christian. Now, as we know with Republicans, every accusation is in fact an admission. Charlie Kirk has been one of the most outspoken critics of quote unquote grooming of our kids, which is all total bogus accusations by the Republican Party. Yet again, another Republican accusing the other side of that which they are guilty, hosting their own summit, sponsored by a sex offender, and accusing the Democrats of being the groomers. This is Justin Horowitz with Really American Media.